This is the before state of the wall. A very ordinary retail space. I had the painter paint one coat of blue with a roller with just up and down motion. I wanted the texture like an old wall to come. And then what you see as a semicircle in the middle is actually a gypsum sheet that we cut a semicircle on top and then fixed it on the wall. I'm using a lotus stencil from Amazon. I'll try and put a link in the description. And for the color, I used the grey that you see on that wall and mixed a little bit of blue to dull it down. So here I'm just holding the stencil in place and roughly doing a texture because I want a very distressed kind of look on this stencil and not like a clear, crisp stencil. And if you see, I am not taping the stencil down, I'm just holding it and randomly brushing it over. I had a rough idea of where I want the stencils. Since I'm not going to stencil all over, I'm using a sharp V kind of a pattern where there are 2 stencils on the left and 2 on the right of the semicircle board. And the first one, I'm going to have a lot of shelves there on top of the stencil. So I want the stencil to be a little larger. So once it's a little dry, I'm doing the second part of it. The circular gypsum board is going to be our space to do gallery walls. And on this board, you can put a screw directly with a screwdriver and you don't really need a drilling machine to drill into. So you can remove the screws and put them back where you want, and different galleries can be created without having to have a handyman or a drill machine. Also, for some reason, I did not shoot the footage of me completing this texture on the gypsum wall. So how did I arrive on having to put the stencil in these places? The first thing that we did was we have wall shelves which we fixed on the wall first, and then I removed them because I don't want the all of the stencils to be floating. Just the one at the bottom is going to be floating. The rest will actually be attached to a wall shelf, which you will see in some time. Here again, after the first stencil has dried, I'm going back in and doing a continuation. The reason why I'm waiting for it to dry is so that when I put the stencil back on it, it doesn't smudge. Here is a footage before I did the second coat on the semicircular wall. And here is the completed wall, and I'm putting the shelves back in. So you can see that I'm putting the shelf right on top of the stencil. The blue shelf I think we ordered either on Flipkart or Amazon. The wooden shelf that I've put in is from Wakefit. And this is the part where I realized it's exactly how I had imagined it and had to take a photo. We added 4 floating shelves from reclaimed wood on the larger stencil, and then it was time to put everything together. So you can see I'm simply driving a screw into the gypsum wall without having to use a drill or a hammer. And this is really how I built a gallery wall. I hold the piece in different places and see how I like it, put it back, go back and forth, and only when I think that yes, this is how I want it to be, I put it there. So there is a lot of stepping back and staring involved when you're doing styling. Then I added some brass accents on the larger shelves and it was done. I don't know why I have very few images of this space. Let me know if you want me to recreate this on a test wall and style it differently. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one.